Thank you very much for being here. We're especially glad that so many young people could join us, and I will have more to say inside during the formal program. And for right now, to get the program started, I'll read this proclamation. But I do want to challenge the young people, and actually everyone here, to try to do two things in 2008 related to Dr. King and his life. Number one, I think it's important for all of us to learn more about his life. So maybe you could pick up a biography, for example, about his life story. And number two, I think we should try to learn more from his life. So what are the examples that he set? How could he continue to guide us, young and old, in our lives? So will the young people here take on that challenge? Do you promise that you'll learn more about Dr. King's life and also try to learn from his life? Because I have a master's in teaching, but I still have a lot to learn in both of those areas related to Dr. King. There's always more to learn. And if nothing else in 2008, I hope you really try to do those two things, and as well as the adults here. So with that, I will start with the Executive Department proclamation. And it reads, whereas the Congress of the United States of America has designated the first Monday after January 15th of each year as a national holiday in recognition of the birth of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. And whereas the state of Iowa designates the third Monday of January of each year as Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Day. And whereas it is essential for Americans to act upon the principles of racial equality and nonviolent social change espoused by Dr. King, and reaffirm their commitment to peace, unity, and racial harmony. And whereas it is appropriate for all of us to review our own attitudes and to reaffirm the American ideals of freedom, justice, and opportunity for all. And whereas this is when people of all races, religions, classes, and stations in life should put aside their differences and join in an effort to bring peace to our world. And whereas in 1994, Congress passed the King Holiday and Service Act, directing the King Center and the Corporation for National and Community Service to carry out a day of service reflecting Dr. King's life and his teachings. And whereas it is appropriate that we honor the late civil rights leader and Nobel Prize recipient and recognize Dr. King's legacy of understanding and peace among all people. Now therefore, I, Chester J. Culver, Governor of the state of Iowa, do hereby proclaim January 21st, 2008 as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and the period of January 21st through January 28th as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Week. In Iowa, I urge all Iowans to commemorate the life and principles of Dr. King by honoring the ideals and spirit of service his life exemplified.